Today we're going to be speaking with Maria Anguiano. Maria is the Executive Vice President of Arizona State University and our leader in what we call the Learning Enterprise. We're going to learn more about the Learning Enterprise, and we'll catch up with Maria to see what she's been up to. Hey, Maria.
Hi, love.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming to get me.
What I thought we maybe would start with is just a little bit of your background.
You know, it's so funny. I always had these big dreams because growing up, I moved around a lot. My mom raised us as a single mom. She didn't speak English that well and only had a 6th grade education. So, you know, we were always kind of bouncing to where she could find job opportunities and the such. And so I actually am a futurist. It's one of my 5 top strengths. And I think that was from seeing my mom's strength. I mean, my mom herself moved to the US when she was 23 without knowing anyone and built a life for herself. What's really funny about this futurist thing is my first job was as an accountant and an auditor.
Oh, definitely a futurist kind of role. Drop the mic, the futurist role, the accountant, exactly.
And so, like, why did that happen, right? I just had zero idea about the possibilities. And so those experiences I really bring into my day-to-day job as knowing that learners are at different stages, need different things, may not have awareness of what's possible, and that our job is to help create that. One of my favorite programs that we have is our Universal Pathways programs that allow people to earn their admission into ASU. So as you know, most research universities have admissions requirements, and if you don't meet those requirements, you are
tough out of luck.
So what we did is create an earned admissions process. Wow. And so we've had over 5,000 people take that pathway, right? I'll tell you a story of Alex. He started his journey in prison.
My name's Alexander. I come from Southern California. ASU's Universal Learner Program offered an opportunity for me to fulfill my dream of going to college. Having been incarcerated for a majority of my life, I was unfamiliar with technology, but the Universal Learner Program was so interactive and so easy for me to understand what I needed to learn. That pathway has led me now to work on my bachelor's degree, and eventually I want to get my dream of earning a JD and a PhD so that I can become a lawyer and save the kids that no one ever saved.
And he went through the Universal Pathway program. He's now finished his degree at ASU. He is in law school because he wants to now give back to youth that were in his life circumstances and help change their life trajectory.
And so, Maria, how do you think about where technology fits into that transformation journey?
With technology, we can see trends. Where is the learner falling off? Like, where could we invest more money in making it like a best adaptive course in whether it's biology or chemistry or any other subject? And you need scale and technology for that. So we're going to see I think a shift in how people think about education.
Could you describe kind of sort of how you frame the work of the Learning Enterprise, which again, I don't think anyone has really heard about other than here at ASU.
The Learning Enterprise at ASU is really ASU's ability to serve a learner regardless of what stage in life they're in. But I don't think that any major research university has really brought the entire journey together to think about how does someone experience education for their entire life. And so at Learning Enterprise, we'll have offerings, again, not just for every stage in life, but in every modality. We have things that are completely online and asynchronous, which means not real time, some stuff that's real time with a cohort and a professor, other things that are in person and workshop styles. So it's really a little bit of everything. And then the magic is using technology to create the ability for that to look seamless to a learner. My favorite are study hall YouTube videos. It'll tell you what's a political science major, what kind of jobs can you get from that. And again, thinking about what I said, my experience, imagine if I had a set of videos where I could actually watch, what could you do with an astrophysics degree?
You could tell your mother.
Actual jobs here. Look, Mom, real jobs, real people. A high quality way for students to experience what could it be like if I went to college. And that's so critical, especially for our first generation students. And it's an easy thing for our teachers and counselors out there in our high school community to be able to direct students to it and say, hey, why don't you take a look at this, then come back and we can have a deeper conversation.
So that's study hall, and you use YouTube
Yes.
for the distribution channel.
Correct.
How do people learn about those kinds of opportunities?
We try to kind of let all our different ASU networks know. The other mechanism we have for that is that we're offering them to high school partners across the country. Because of our scale, we have 400 questions that learners have asked about, our particular course in the last 3 months. And so we're like, we could use AI in those questions to figure out what pedagogical approaches should we be using to help learners actually be even more successful. It's those types of technologies that get me really excited about being able to create that hyper-personalized, adaptable journey for someone. I was in one of these cars a few weeks ago, and I was reflecting, why would an autonomous car need a steering wheel? Why can't we be facing each other?
And no doubt, at some point, your imagination and others will create new kinds of transportation systems where you won't need
Exactly, but it always starts kind of looking similar to the current state, and that's okay. I think that shows we're at the beginning stages, and I think our human imagination then takes what's nascent technologies, the things of all new sorts of ways to bring them in and to adapt them.